How does the if formula work in Microsoft Excel? The if formula in Microsoft Excel is one of the most common logical formulas. And I've already covered this formula along with 60 plus advanced Excel formulas in my advanced Excel masterclass. So I'll be attaching a video directly from the masterclass right here for you to have a look at it and learn from it. If you are someone who wants to learn everything about advanced Excel, right from the basics till the most advanced level, and along with advanced Excel, also learn the most in demand skills in order to grow in your career, such as advanced PowerPoint, Power BI, Tableau, and SQL, I highly recommend you to check out my advanced masterclass, which will help you master all these skills in less than 30 days. The button to join the masterclass is below this video, so make sure to click on it and reserve your seat for the masterclass. I hope to see you there. For now, let's have a look at how the if formula works. In this lecture, we are going to look at the if formula in Excel. The if formula in Excel is a logical formula, and all logical formulas in Excel are based on simple if or then statements. So let's take a look at a few examples that are a few sentences that we use in English. The first one being, if it is raining, then bring an umbrella. Here we are having a condition attached to bringing an umbrella. So only and only if it is raining, then bring an umbrella. Coming with the second example, if it is sunny, then bring sunglasses. So again, only if it is sunny, then bring sunglasses. And the third one being, if it is sunny and it is summer, skip work and go to the beach. So here we need to have two conditions. It has to be sunny and it has to be summer for us to skip work and go to the beach. Basically, it just says, hey Excel, if a particular statement is true, return one value. If it is false, return some other value. Coming to the if syntax, here we have the syntax of the if formula. We have three arguments in the syntax. One is the logical test, then we have the value if true and the value if false. The if formula allows you to test a particular condition or putting it into simple words, a particular statement of a logical field. For example, if I want to test A1 is equal to Google or not, I can simply enter that as my logical test. If A1 is equal to Google, in the next argument, we can determine what value we want. For example, if A1 is equal to Google, in the value if true part, we can say ABC. If A1 is not equal to Google, whatever we enter in the value if false part will be the answer. So the logical test being true will give me value if true. The logical test being false will give me value if false. Here's an example to show the same. Here we are writing is equal to if B2 is less than or equal to 32. B2 being the temperature. So if the temperature is less than or equal to 32, I want yes as my answer for freezing. And if it is not less than or equal to 32, which means it is greater than 32, I want no as my answer. That is the formula that I have written here, which is giving me the answer. Let's take another example practically in our classwork file of module 2. Here we have the if formula and a question in front of us, which we need to solve by using the if formula. I can simply click on the button of if to get the instructions for the same. The instructions tell us to check if a student has passed in the subject maths. The criteria being the student has to score at least 35 marks. Let's close the criteria and start writing our if formula. Here our logical test, that is the statement that we need to check if it's true or false, is the student scoring at least 35 marks. That is greater than or equal to 35. That will become our logical test. If the student has marks greater than or equal to 35, let's call the answer here as pass. And if the student does not have the marks above or equal to 35, it has to be failure. We'll start typing is equal to if. My logical test here will be the marks in maths, which is this cell greater than equal to 35. One thing to note here is you need to write it as greater than equal to. The greater sign is to be in the beginning and then you have the equal sign. You cannot write the equal sign before the greater sign and call it equal to greater than. It has to be greater than equal to 35. So you cannot interchange this, otherwise you will get an error. Once we have written our logical test, I'll press comma and put in the value if true. I want pass written as my answer if the student's marks are greater than or equal to 35. So I'll put in pass here. But whenever we enter a text in Excel, which is not the name of a formula, we need to surround it with double quotations. So I cannot simply write in PASS pass. Excel will think we are trying to write a formula here. Instead of writing PASS simply, what we need to do is wrap it up in double quotations. So I'll put in double quotations, PASS, and again put in double quotations. You can also make the P capital in case you want to have that. And this is the way you write a text inside the formula in Excel. You cannot simply write it as a normal text. You need to surround it in double quotations whenever the text is not the name of a formula that you are trying to enter. So now that we have this, I'll press comma and move from value if true to value if false. And here I will put in fail again in double quotations. So I'll select double quotations and put in fail. Double quotations again to close it, bracket close to close the if formula. I'll hit enter and I will get the answer as pass because the marks in maths are indeed above 35. If I go here and double click on the bottom right square, I will get the answer for all the other cells because for the first cell, it is trying to test the answer on this particular cell. Here we are having it for this particular cell and so on. Because we are using relative referencing here, whenever we go from one cell to the other cell, all the references will also shift one cell down. And for this cell, the answer will be lying on the marks of that particular student. Let's test if the answer is correct or not. Here we are having a bunch of passes and fails. If I go to this particular cell, you see the marks are indeed less than 35 and that's why we are having failure. If I go down, here we have fail. As you can see, again the marks are less than 35. So this is how you can use the if formula. Let's take another example. This time we are trying to test if the marks are greater than or equal to 35 in the subject OC. So we can simply again type is equal to if. My logical test this time will be the marks in OC greater than or equal to 35. So I'll select the OC subject, that is the cell, greater than equal to 35, comma, the value if true will be in double quotations, PASS, comma, and again in double quotations, FAIL, that is for fail. Bracket closed to close the formula, hit enter and you get the answer. Again you can double click on the bottom right square to send it down and get the answer for all the other students. So that's how you can use the if formula in Excel. That's it for this lecture and I'll see you in the next one.